Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved. So today we are on the Ark's newest map, the Viking themed one. We are going out to get ourselves some rock drake eggs today, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that as a beginner in Ark Survival Evolved. So as always, I'm playing on official servers, which means I have to start with pretty much nothing when I come to these new maps. So what I did to prepare for this video was to just tame a Desmodus. Doesn't really matter the level because all you need to do is be able to use its invisibility mode. You won't be fighting anything. At most you'll be luring things away from the nests when you find one that you want so that you can claim that egg. But you do need to remember to come at night because with the Desmodus, its invisibility mode does only work at night. If you try to use it during the daytime, you are going to be spotted and the rock drakes will attack you. So keep in mind that you need to come at night. But when you do so, you'll be able to use the Desmodus' invisibility mode to not only fly down to the location where the rock drakes are undetected, but you'll also be able to take your time and leisurely pick through all of the eggs there without being bothered to find one that you like the most. So whichever one attracts your attention, maybe you've been looking for that 180 egg and you just couldn't find it, now's your ability to actually do so. So we're going to hop on the back of our Desmodus here, and we are going to go ahead and fly down to the nest where the rock drakes are. They are in the aberrant zone of this particular section here. If you go to the aberrant zone, they kind of hide out in the top corner of it, and you'll know the aberrant zone apart from the others due to the fact that it is going to have very brightly colored trees. Another thing that you might want to make sure that you have before actually going into that cave is a set of hazmat gear because there is radiation down there. It is possible to survive down there without the radiation suit for a very limited amount of time, maybe long enough to run in and grab a single rock drake egg. However, that is probably not your goal. If you're doing this method, you probably want to get that 180 rock drake egg and not worry about any of the low level ones. So please make sure you wear some hazmat gear if you don't want that to be a problem. Alright, so here we go. We are entering the aberration zone. Well, not quite yet, but we're about to be entering the aberration zone. We can see it from here. The aberration zone is those purple trees that we see on the other side of the horizon here. Be careful because there are a lot of nasty things in there. Those shadow mains and a bunch of other ugly, hideous monstrosities that are going to try to kill you as soon as you land in that area. So I do advise using a Desmodus to fly in there instead of trying to go in on foot or anything else of that nature because it's extremely dangerous. So please be careful about that and make sure that if you are coming into this area, you're prepared to do so. I don't remember if I mentioned the hazmat suit earlier, but this cave is radioactive, so make sure you're wearing a hazmat suit if you're going to go in there. That was the map location for this cave. It's kind of hidden in the side of a cliff, but beware of that because it is in the aberrant zone. It is radioactive. It's also part of the main map. They don't have individual maps for these subterranean areas, so please make sure that you're not trying to use some sort of special map to find it, and you're not just going to this location on the main map. So this is the location of the rock drake nest. You want to make sure that you turn invisible, because that's the whole point of bringing the Desmodus, so nothing sees you while you're inside of that cave. About halfway down this tunnel here, we're going to notice that there's a little bit of a glitch with the bat where he becomes invisible to even you as the operator, which isn't really a good thing because it makes it hard, as you're going to see later in this video, to actually see where you're trying to land at. I also don't know that the Desmodus was meant to be anti-radiation, but radiation does not damage the Desmodus in any way, shape, or form. So there's that glitch I was talking about. When your Desmodus enters the radioactive zone, you cannot see it whatsoever. So just be aware that while you turn back visible when that happens, you're still invisible to the rock drakes. They will not aggro to you, even though you can see your character. Alright, so here we go. We're entering the rock drake nest. Remember, even though they can see your character, you are still fully invisible, as we will see when we fly past this first rock drake. Right here on the right, you can see his tail just a little bit there. He is not going to aggro onto me. I was very cautious about this at first because I wasn't sure if this glitch was going to make me visible, but the bats stay invisible, but it actually going to see later on in this video when I come face to face with the shadow main and the rock drake nest. So just be aware that even though you are visible, you're still invisible. Now, the great thing about this and why we're watching this video in the first place is the Desmodus makes us stay invisible. So we can literally go up to any one of these eggs that we're curious about and see the level. So that one's a level 55. It's kind of trash. Not going to worry about it. Also a 25. Very trashy. Don't care about it. We're coming back over here to this next one in line. We're going to check its level. Another 55, really trashy eggs. So this thing does go in a very big circle. I wasn't 100% sure on the direction. There was a rock drake up there, so I turned around. I wasn't 100% sure because this was my first time attempting this with the bat. I had tried it with a couple of other creatures before, and none of them quite worked out so good. Recharging my stamina there. Please keep an eye on the stamina for your Desmodus. If you lose stamina, he will land and turn visible, and you'll get murdered. But yeah, this was my first time going into this tunnel with the Desmodus. I've come in here on, not foot, but on other animals before, and so I wasn't quite sure about the layout. So I flew back through the area one more time because there's two paths at the beginning. It is a circle, so if you just fly all the way around it, you can see all the rock trickness without having to play this back and forth game that I played here in this video that I shot of my first attempt to get rock trick eggs. So I'm just going to keep flying around in circles, checking every nest that I see until I find one that's high enough level that I deem worth raising. Because, you know, you got to get the rock drakes, nameless venom and stuff to feed them, kind of like the wyverns where you've got to get the milk. But here we go. We've got a nice egg here. This one, got to get my bat to actually land so I can see the level of it. There's lots of nasties out there, but you can see that they don't care about me because I am invisible to them. So once you get your bat to actually land, and it's kind of hard to do since you can't see them, you can see the level of the egg. It says a level 180, which is exactly what I came down here for. But I got a lot of scary things around me. If I were to jump off right now, that Shadow Mane would probably jack me up, kill my bat, and I wouldn't get my egg. So what I can do to get rid of them is I just need to uncloak my bat so that they can see me, and they will all get aggro onto him at that point in time. When they get aggro onto him at that point in time, I can lure them to the other side of the cave. Notice how everything in the area that saw me got mad. It's now chasing after me. And that also includes everything that was around that rock drake egg. So now I'm just going to take them somewhere far away from it. Keep in mind where the location of the egg was so you can go back to it. And I'm going to cloak my bat again. As soon as I do so, they're going to lose aggro. You'll notice when we come back around to the cave where the egg was, nothing is chasing us whatsoever. We're completely safe. So I get back over here. Nothing's after me. I land my bat by the 180 rock drake egg. Once again, kind of hard to do because of the non-ability to see your bat whatsoever. I land here. I'm going to hop off now that nothing is around. I decloak to see if anything aggroes. Nothing does. Jump off. Grab my 180 rock drake egg, jump back on, fly, turn invisible as fast as you can, because once you do that, nothing new will aggro to you. The first two that saw me will aggro to me, but the rest of them could care less because they didn't see me take the egg, and they can't get aggro on something they can't see. Another piece of advice I would offer is to make sure that you actually locate where the exit and entrance is here, so maybe do a little bit of recon before you fly out, because I forgot where the entrance was, and I had to fly around a couple of times in order to locate it. Notice how I've still just got 3 rock drakes chasing me. These new ones right here, they couldn't give a shit about what I was doing with this rock drake egg because they don't know that I've got it because I'm invisible again. So once I find the exit, I'm just going to fly right back up it. I've got my egg, I've got my victory, 180 rock drake egg, not a single scratch on me. If this video helped anyone, please consider giving me a like. It took me quite a few minutes to figure out which one of the tames works best for this versus which ones doesn't. A like doesn't cost you anything but helps me greatly. Have a great day and peace.